Hello Wolfpack, I want to look at Bitcoin from a fresh perspective today. Before we get into the video, quickly, just a quick mention here. You have 24 hours, actually 22 hours by the time this video gets out, to sign up to the VIP membership. We're shutting the group after that. It will be shut for an indefinite amount of time. We probably won't be opening slots up for at least a month after this. So 24 hours, if you're interested, get in now. The link will be in the description and pinned comment. This is the last reference I'll ever make to it. Again, 24 hours, guys. If you're interested, now's your time. Regardless of that, fresh perspective today on Bitcoin. Let's get into it. I've seen a chart going around, right? And I've seen a chart going around. I don't necessarily agree with its price targets. The chart is something like this. And this is something I identified this morning as well as seeing it around on Twitter and YouTube over the past few weeks. The chart is this, okay? We have a downtrending line stemming from May. And it looks something like this. And then we also have something like that, right? 2 wicks here, 2 tests, 1 test over here. In September, that's a 3-test line that makes it valid. And then we have the other side of the line, well, the other side of a triangle, I should say, stemming from the June low all the way through to these wicks here. And it looks like that. That is the triangle formation that I'm seeing on Bitcoin quite a lot. Now, a lot of people would oversimplify this triangle and they would say, actually, no, this is a descending triangle formation, but in reality, it's not a descending triangle formation, okay? Because if you were trying to draw it like a descending triangle, there's no other wick. There's no wick to look for here that makes it a descending triangle, right? It's actually this. This is the correct way to draw the line, as I've done it before. It's technically a symmetrical triangle formation. In fact, it's technically a bearish pennant formation. So yes, it is equally bearish as a descending triangle, but it's good to make that distinction. It's not a descending triangle formation. This is not quite a horizontal flat consolidation zone yet. Okay, it is slightly angled to the upside as per the fact that we haven't seen a retest of a June low. But yeah, that's what we have. We have this triangle formation. And so what can we stem from that? Because that's valid, right? We have 3 tests for the top side. We have 2 tests at the bottom side. That's a valid triangle formation. What can we stem from that? We can take a price target and we can see what happens. So if we measure a price target from the first retest of a top and stem it all the way down to the first retest of the bottom of the triangle, we have what we have, and this is how you generally see, extrapolations of price targets from triangles. We have a price target line, okay? And we can go ahead and apply this line to both the upside, right, and to the downside to find out what price points these lines meet. So for the upside, we'll go ahead and apply this line from the breakout zone roughly, and we can see that that line is going to be targeting. So if we break out to the upside of a triangle is by default going to be targeting around that $33,000 to $32,000 level. And if we apply the line to the downside, we can see that line is going to be targeting a level around 3,400 to 3,500-ish, okay? These lines are not coincidences. They line up quite well with historical support and resistance zones. We're going to get into whether they're valid or not. We're going to get into why I don't think we'll go as low as 3,700, 3,500 if we do break down. I just don't think that's possible. There's a few reasons for that, but these lines aren't coincidences, right? This is TA. Everyone thinks TA. A lot of people, not everyone, a lot of people think TA is just a bunch of random and it all just randomly happens and it's just all triangles and lines and it all... No, it's actually very coordinated, right? And it's not coordinated in the sense that there's someone behind the scenes controlling everything. There are market manipulators, but it's not as manipulated as people like to think. It's natural manipulation. It's natural fluctuations that form trends based on historical data, based on macro evidence, right? It naturally happens like this. It looks like it's all planned out, but in reality, it's very, very natural. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out what these lines actually mean. Let's go ahead and check out where these targets bring us and whether they're valid or not. Now, what you'll see is the upside target for this triangle, right? If we break this triangle to the upside, by the way, which is part of my buying plan, because this dotted yellow line over here on the buying plan is actually the top side of this triangle, so I think that triangle is very much valid to the upside. If we break this triangle to the upside, we will be targeting a test of 33,000 on Bitcoin. Now, what's in that area? Well, triangles aren't exact. It's worth noting that. They're not exact, okay? They're rough. So we can go ahead and be like, okay, maybe 33,000 doesn't make a lot of sense. But what would make sense is if we move this down just a little bit, 32,000 would make a lot of sense. Why is that? 32,000 is the top of the range we had before on this 28,600 consolidation zone. Okay, so let's bring out 28,600. That's that pink line here. That was the horizontal line that kind of supported Bitcoin throughout the entirety of the bull market. Okay, you can see 28,600, that pink line, literally was the foundation of the bull market in terms of like where the bottom line was for Bitcoin. That was the foundation line. When we were retesting that foundation line, we actually came up and we rejected from 32.6K on 2 separate occasions here, right? One 2. Therefore, 32,600 is a very, very, very valid resistance zone. Okay, so what we can stem from that is that if we do break this triangle to the upside, we will be going back, not quite to 36,200 quite yet, but we will be retesting at least 28,600, which was the foundation zone for 32,600 retests. So if we break this triangle to the upside, and this is why my buying plan reflects this, right? It reflects it perfectly. If we break this triangle to the upside, we will be testing 28.6k, most likely. More likely than not, we will be testing 28.6k. 28.6k is the critical breaker for the bear market. If we break above 28.6k, that would be a very, very strong evidence for the bear market being over and for the bottom actually being in. That would be full confirmation, right? So if this triangle breaks to the upside, very important to note, and this is my buying plan as well, by the way. If this triangle breaks to the upside, we won't be out of the bear market just yet, but we will be testing the level that could bring us out of the bear market. So that is very valid. That is a very valid triangle break to the upside. What about the downside now? I want to briefly interrupt this video to talk about the BitGet exchange. Now, the BitGet exchange has 5 times lower fees than Binance, which is commonly referred to as the cheapest exchange in the cryptocurrency market. It's also non-KYC or voluntarily KYC, so you can stay true to the fundamental values of cryptocurrency, one of which being anonymity, of course. It's also got a security fund in there, so if you lose your funds by fault of the exchange or by personal fault, you can make a claim and actually retrieve your funds back. On top of all of this, if you sign up using my referral link, you can get access to exclusive discounts and rewards. This is the best exchange on the cryptocurrency market, and I use it personally, and so should everyone at the Wolves of Crypto YouTube channel. Now, if you're interested in actually learning how to trade for yourself, you can check out the Crypto Academy via the website link in the description below. This is a course developed by myself and Mega Crypto, a 10-unit course taking you through every single step from step 1 to step infinite about how to become a trader. Go ahead and check that out and chuck us an email at cryptoacademycourses@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you with the full information and payment information if you're interested. Thanks guys for watching the advertisements. Let's get back into the video. Okay, the downside is a lot less valid in my opinion. Now, triangles are known for and patterns in general, by the way, are known for exaggerating their targets. Okay, they are known for that. That's a very well-known thing. And so we have a target here from this triangle that's stemming to around 3,700. Okay. In my opinion, ridiculously low. Okay, that would be a breakdown of 80% from current prices. Now, it does make sense from a support perspective that we go down there. Okay, I don't think we're going to go down there, but from a support perspective, completely ignoring everything fundamentally about Bitcoin, etc., it does make sense because that was the COVID low. Again, these price targets don't come up for no reason. It's all, it's all kind of, I guess you could say, pre-planned naturally by the market. And it also lines up with support that we had back in 2017, and also the rough area of the the macro lows in 2018 and 2019 as well, right? So that line, that target from a triangle is valid. It's a valid target, but we're not going to go that low. And the reason for that is because, well, look at this for a second, right? On the upside, okay, if we broke to the upside, we have many major, we don't have many major resistance zones, preventing that triangle from remaining valid, okay? Because look, when we break a triangle, very important to note, when we break a market pattern, it is only valid in so that there aren't too many distractions along the way. That's the target, right? The target is only valid in so there aren't too many distractions along the way. Because look, if we break a triangle to the downside and say, for example, there's no historical support at all in this entire zone, the only metric traders have to go off for targets is the triangle breakdown. But if there's support at 13.8k, there's support at 11.5k, there's a CME gap at 9k, there's support at 6k, there's support at 17.6k, there's heaps of moving averages and everything like that, right? By the time we even get down to like the second level, people aren't looking at the triangle breakdown target for evidence for a breakdown anymore. Therefore, they're going to stop selling because that's not relevant anymore, right? It's important to note the price moves because people buy and sell. People buy and sell based on what happens in the charts and in real life. Okay, so the charts for a triangle breakdown, people might initially sell because of a triangle breakdown, but if they see there's 6 support zones before the triangle's target, they're not going to be looking at that triangle in 2 months when we're testing the second support zone and can't break down lower. Okay, so the triangle becomes invalid at that point. Now, the reason why it's valid to the upside and not valid to the downside is for that very reason. There's not much resistance to the upside. There's only really 28.6k, but there's so much support to the downside, mainly because Bitcoin has been in that price region for 4 or 5 years. Bitcoin has only been in this price region for like 2 years. Okay, so that naturally there's a lot more historical support than there is historical resistance. So breaks to the upside are going to be a lot easier than breaks to the downside. That's worth noting. So do I think the triangle is valid? Yes. If we break to the upside, I will no doubt be expecting a 28.6k retest. But if we break to the downside, there's no way in hell, in my opinion, we're going down to 3k. And not only that, I've talked about this in the past. I don't actually think I think it's barely mathematically possible for Bitcoin to even go that low, simply due to the fact that we've lost so much Bitcoin. There is so much Bitcoin wallets that have been lost, not in circulation anymore, that the floor price is very, very high at this point. I think it's like 2,000 USD is the floor price for Bitcoin. I don't know, something like that. Meaning that, like, you know, really, what are the chances of everyone except for like 10 people selling Bitcoin, 10 whales selling Bitcoin? You know, we're not going to go to 3k, right? So even mathematically speaking, that price target is essentially impossible unless Bitcoin literally dies and everything collapses in society. I don't think we'll go down that low. And then even from a TA perspective as well, it's very unlikely we go down that low on Bitcoin, because by the time we get down even half that low, the triangle's not relevant anymore. People aren't looking at a triangle breakdown as relevant anymore. Okay, so that's kind of a situation for Bitcoin there. And this is reflected quite well. I would like to just expand on this point one more time as to why the triangle is not relevant that low. Look what we had here. We had a bear flag formation. This is a bear flag on Bitcoin, okay? Bear flag. The target for the bear flag actually stemmed from this wick over here. We brought it down. Okay, I know this chart's getting messy now, but this line that I just dropped right there was the target for the bear flag. The bear flag targeted 10k on the breakdown, okay? You know, where are we going to reach 10k? No, because we understand, and we made this very clear, we understand that even though the bear flag targets 10k, by the time we get down even half at that low, people aren't looking at the bear flag anymore. People aren't selling based on a bear flag breakdown. They're looking at other factors. They're looking at other indicators. So that's just a little expansion on that point. But I would like to just end the video off by saying this. This triangle that we have here will be breaking out before the 30th of October. That's big, guys. That's big news. Before the end of this month, this triangle will break to the upside of a downside. We could swing upwards to 28.6k or start the swing, or we could swing downwards to a new low, and that would be decided before the end of the month. October is a big month for Bitcoin. That's the point I was trying to make the entire video. There's a massive triangle here that is telling us that, and we need to be looking closely at it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. VIP, 24 hours. Sign up if you want to. If you don't want to, you'll have to wait another month if you change your mind. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.